What's up, YouTube? So I've been thinking and recollecting and reflecting and just really wondering about the meaning of being pro-black, right? Especially since, in light of the recent events, particularly within Black YouTube, the pro-black slash conscious sector of YouTube, right? And also, just in the state that we're in as a people, I think we really need to start buckling down and start really defining some strong, strict criteria when it comes to being pro-black, particularly a pro-black leader. For someone who is low-key posturing him or herself as a pro-black leader. You know, So I kind of have, more or less came up with a pro-black leader checklist, right? And I'm just going to go through it and share it with you guys, and we can kind of have a conversation, a discussion, and perhaps even a debate about it. You know. And before I begin, disclaimer: this is ultimately just my opinions. All right, this is just what I think. Okay. So, if you're in your feelings, get out your feelings, all right? But, let's get into this, though, all right? So, first on the checklist, right off the bat, is oh yeah, and by the way, this checklist is more so geared towards a pro-black leader, specifically a pro-black male leader. And the reason that is because I feel like for a position like this, I really think that a man should be in the position. No disrespect or no shade to the women, but women really have done more than enough, really. I don't really think we should be putting a woman in a position like this because it's really dangerous. Honestly, you become a target. Like, look what happened to Martin and Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, as well as other people who have positioned themselves, like Huey P. Newton, right? And because of that, I don't think we need to be sending a woman to do this job, right? And I know majority of women would probably be like, hey, I ain't trying to be that, just let the men do it. But I know it's always going to be some one or two feminist types who want to be all on this, men and women are complete and total equals. And I'm like, no, that's not true. Men and women aren't equal. It doesn't mean that one is better than the other, but it just means that they're not equal. All right. So, disclaimer. All right. So let's get into this. All right. So first, right off the bat, let's just cut to the chase. All right. Is your spouse or significant other black? All right. If they are non-black, right out the gate, you're out of here. All right. You are not in the running to become a pro-black leader. Not in my book. Now, in the past, I have been sort of lenient with this, but not anymore, though. I have to become really strict with this. All right. You cannot be the face of a pro-black liberation empowerment movement and not have a black spouse. That is a conflict of interest. All right. To me, I think that person should be advocating for multiculturalism more so than pro-blackness. Right? They can just be a pro-black multiculturalist. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. However, there's a bit of a gray area for me specifically in this section. Suppose if the spouse is, mixed or biracial, I'm going to begrudgingly let this slide. But I'm suspicious, though. I'm a little suspicious about this, especially when it comes to, I'm just going to keep it real. I'm not trying to be shady, but especially when it comes to a brown-skinned, dark-skinned man with a biracial mixed spouse, or wife, or girlfriend, or whatever, right? I'm suspicious, and I'm just keeping it real. And if you've been with me for a while and haven't viewed my videos, you know why I'm suspicious, right? But I'm going to let this slide. I'm going to let this slide because, to be fair, it's not completely fair to either party to completely say that that person is, colorist, and the other person, it's kind of like dark-skinned people can sometimes be accused of being colorist because they may like light-skinned folks, or maybe in relationship with light-skinned people. And I don't think that's fair to the brown-skinned, dark-skinned people, or the light-skinned mixed or biracial people either, because it it others light-skinned and biracial and mixed people from blackness, and it also sort of um, it shames brown-skinned and dark-skinned people. It's like a weird situation. I could probably do a whole video on that, but another video for another day. All right. But yeah, I'm suspicious though. All right. Also, before I go on to the next section, well, scratch that. I'll get to that after this. And I will say, when it comes to this, pro-black spouse, well, having a black spouse, right, or versus a non-black spouse, race mixing erases blackness. Okay, it does not promote and perpetuate blackness, right? It erases it. It mixes two gene pools together, two different gene pools, or two different racial gene pools together, right? And to me, that is, it goes against pro-blackness. So, for me, I'm not so much on that, oh, you're the seed of your father bullshit. You know, I am definitely not on that one drop rule bullshit. And as well, I've told you about my familial situation. I have people who kind of like low key are black because of the one drop rule. To keep it real. Um, you know, but I feel like we're in a different time now, right? We're in a different era now. It's different now. It's the white passing people from you know back in the day versus now are two different people. Okay. No. Also, next, I gotta really point this out, and this is a warning to black women. Black women of all shades, honestly. Um, but notice the trend, black women. Some black men can be pro-black without having a black woman of any shade. That seems to be the trend right now. That seems to be what they're pushing right now, right? Some black men are trying to make that the standard. Notice that. They're slowly starting to make that the standard now. And they're doing that in order to ultimately remove the stigma of interracial dating among black men altogether, right? Because before, it was like, you're interracially dating, you're a coon, you're a sellout, you're not down for black people, right? It's a stigma that goes along with that. But notice, black men who interracially date tend to low-key be on this like pro-black tip for some reason. And for me, I'm really suspicious when you on a pro-black tip, but your pro-blackness skips over the black woman, especially the brown-skinned, dark-skinned black woman. How can that even be a topic of conversation? How can we really even entertain that, honestly? And also, like back in the day, the real pro-blacks, the true pro-blacks, had black spouses. Okay? Now, there were some like, okay, let's compare like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Marcus Garvey. Compare them to, say, Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, and Sammy Davis Jr., I think. Right? Malcolm, Martin, and Marcus had black spouses. On the other hand, um, Sidney, Sammy, and Harry did not, right? And I felt like back then there was a strong differentiation between the two, right? Yeah, both of them still did, both groups still, did their thing, you know, of course, but I feel like there was a differentiation between the two groups, and people weren't trying to just blend them both together as if they're the same thing. Okay, notice that. But now, for some reason, it seems like they're trying to blend it in and just make it all the same. It's like you're trying to blend multiculturalism with pro-blackness, you know? And that's, now we're in the era of like the pro-black multiculturalist who is, masquerading as pro-black, by the way. Not even being upfront with it. Like I'm on some multicultural shit. No, they like, I'm on some pro-black shit. But really, it's multiculturalism. If the black woman ain't included, it's multiculturalism. All right. And it's not that multiculturalism is a bad word, but the thing is, you're trying to pass off multiculturalism with some pro-black flavoring as being pro-black. No, it's just multiculturalism with some pro-black flavoring in it. And really, low-key, that pro-black flavoring covers up the white supremacist flavoring of it, really. Because, low-key, the multiculturalism is flavored with white supremacy. It's getting too deep. It's getting too deep in here. But let me move on, because I could probably go on for another 10 minutes about this topic here. All right. But, yeah, they're trying to remove the stigma of interracial dating among black men. That's the trend right now. That's why I'm giving this warning to you, black women of all shades. Ultimately, what they're trying to do is phase the black woman out of being the gatekeeper of blackness. And they're starting with the darkest first and working their way through the color spectrum to the lightest. All right? Just because you think you're a light bright, you ain't exempt, by the way. Because I know some of you light brights pretend to be acting like, oh, this don't affect me. Good hair don't care. Like, no, they coming after your ass too. It's just, it'll be a minute before they get to your ass though. All right.